of the flag and remain standing for the invocation. Ready to begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would you remain standing, please? Some of you may remember David Brinkley. David once said, "A successful man is one who can lay a firm foundation with the bricks others have thrown at him." Good thought for us tonight. Let's pray. Most gracious Father, we thank you tonight for the blessings that you have given this community. We thank you for the service and sacrifice that many have made. Bless us as we continue through this meeting. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. You may be seated.
Thank you. Could we have roll call, please?
Council members McDonald?
Here.
Graham?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Candia?
Here.
Mayor Martina?
Here.
Oh,
And I'm here.
I'm sorry. Councilmember Day, I apologize.
That's okay, no problem.
Okay, thank you very much. Report out from closed session. Council has authorized the litigation against the Bureau of Cannabis Control. Moving on, the declaration of conflict of interest. None. There being none tonight, thank you. 6, ceremonial matters. Medal of Honor presentation. Chief Richardson will make the presentation tonight. Just a second.
Good evening, our council members. It is my honor to welcome our extended family, the Singh family, tonight. I would like to announce a couple of things before we get going with the presentation. Officially, we will be retiring Corporal Singh's badge number, his call sign, and Sam as a K-9. Not only will we retire Sam to the family that we've already told them, we'll also retire that name. So that name will no longer be used at the Newman Police Department again. I don't know if I should come up front to present.
Wherever you feel comfortable, please.
I'll come up front. It is my honor to present you, the family, with Corporal Singh's Medal of Honor that he will receive for the brave act and heroism that he displayed on December 26th. So in this shadow box, we have the Medal of Honor, Corporal Singh's badge, patch, K-9 pin, and the American flag that he loved to wear so much. So on behalf of the Newman Police Department and the City of Newman, I would like to present this to you, Mika. So sorry. If you guys would just wait right here, we have some more stuff for you tonight.
I'm just going to
talk to you guys. My name is Chris Adams, and I work for Modesto Police Department. And we're here tonight, and I'm just representing all the agencies of Stanislaus County and the Newman Police Department. After Vermeil was killed, we in Stanislaus County put together 4 flags for your family. Each of these flags that we're presenting to you have each laid over Vermeil and flown in front of the Newman Police Department. So we have one for each of you, and that's on behalf of the Newman Police Department and all law enforcement here in Stanislaus County. So we have those 4 for here, but this is for you, and this can be displayed wherever you would like it to represent all of law enforcement in Stanislaus County to support you guys.
Mayor, would it be all right if we take a quick break?
Absolutely. Please.
We're going to take a short break at this time. I'd like to call the city council meeting back to order, please. Item 7, items of the public, non-agenda items. If anyone would like to speak to the council, now's the time to go to the podium, state your name and address for the record. And being no one, we'll move on to item 8, consent calendar. Waive all readings of ordinance and resolution except by title. Approval of warrants. Approval of minutes of January 22nd, 2019 meeting. Adopt resolution number 2019 next number. A resolution accepting the capital facility fee annual report. E, approves participation in the Yellow Ribbon Initiative.
I move that we approve the consent calendar as read.
And I'll second that, excuse me.
Okay, motion's been made and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 5-0. Thank you. 9 is a public hearing. A, second reading adoption of ordinance number 2019, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Newman, adding Chapter 4.25, Universal Design for Residential Dwelling, to Title 4, Building Regulations of the Newman Municipal Code, and authorizing staff to publish a summary of said ordinance.
Thank you, Mayor. At your previous meeting on January 22nd, we had the introduction and the first reading. During that time, you opened up the comment period to the public, and one person came up to you and spoke about, made some recommendations about not having a minimum size requirement for a project in order for these universal design standards to be adopted. We've made the changes in accordance with what your direction was, and whereby these universal design standards are going to be applied to all projects, and even single family or a single house. In that case, the developer would just sign off that they understand that they offered all that up to the people. So with that, tonight we just ask that you conduct a public hearing. And then following that public hearing, we would have the second reading and the adoption. So with that, I can answer any questions that you have.
Okay, with that, I'll open it to the public. If anyone would like to speak to the subject, please go to the podium, state your name and address for the record. There being no one, I bring it back to the council for direction.
I move that we approve the second reading and adoption of ordinance 2019 next number.
I'll second that.
I guess we should.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Newman adding Chapter 4.25 Universal Design for Residential Dwellings to Title 4 Building Regulations of the Newman Municipal Code and authorizing staff to publish a summary of said ordinance.
I'll second that.
Okay, a motion's been made and second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried 5-0. Thank you. B, adopt resolution number 2019, next number, resolution authorizing the automatic annual inflation adjustment for capital facilities and impact fee for the period of March 1st, 2019 through February 29, 2020.
Evening, Mayor and council members. The City of Newman charges impact fees to developers to pay for all or a portion of costs of providing public service to their new development. These fees are implemented to help reduce the economic burden on our jurisdiction as well as we deal with population growth within our boundaries. The city adopted Resolution 2002-22 approving a comprehensive update of capital facility and impact fees, as well as adopting an automatic adjustment of those fees based on the construction cost index for our area. Last year, the index experienced a positive 3.5% increase. This year is a positive 0.8%. What this means is in a vested area, it increases the total impact fees on a low-density residential unit by $98.90. The proposed changes to these fees are required to be noticed 2 times prior to this meeting. This was done through the newspaper on 2 previous Thursdays. The staff requests the council opens a public hearing to take comment on this item and then vote on its adoption. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
No questions? This is a public hearing, so I'll open it up to the public for any comments. There being none, I bring it back to the council for direction.
I'll make a motion we adopt resolution number 2019, next number, a resolution authorizing the automatic annual inflation adjustment for capital facility and impact fees for the period of March 1st, 2019 through February 29th of 2020.
Second the motion.
Okay, motion's been made and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 5-0. Thank you. Thank you very much, Lou. 10 is regular business. Report on Comforting Kids event at Pioneer Park.
Good evening, Mayor, council members. Comforting Kids is once again looking to utilize Pioneer Park for their classic benefit car show on June 23rd, 2019, from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. for their benefit classic car show. They've also requested the 1200 block of Fresno Street, again blocked off for their vendor area. I believe this event's been going on for maybe 4 or 5 years now. Seems to have a really good turnout, and it's never been any type of issues that we've come across there at that park. There will be a no alcohol served or sold event, and currently it is not conflicting with any other community events that we're aware of. Comforting Kids has made the following request, which is exclusive use of the park for their car show, use of the restroom facilities, and electrical power at the location. Staff has made the following request from Comforting Kids, and that is to secure event liability insurance in the amount of $3 million, naming the city as an additional insured, secure additional waste wheelers and position throughout the park, and also cover the cost of one Public Works employee to assist with vehicle parking around the electrical boxes and sprinkler and irrigation things that may be in the park that we wouldn't want to have damaged by vehicles running over them. So it is our request that they pay for the cost of that one Public Works employee on overtime to assist with the parking and getting the vehicles out of there, as they have in the past, and I believe it hasn't been an issue. And I can answer any questions about this event that you may have.
Any comments from the council? Okay. With that, I'll bring it back to council for direction.
I move that we accept the report on Comforting Kids event at Pioneer Park with the terms presented.
I'll second that.
Okay, a motion's been made and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. B, adopt resolution number 2009, next number, a resolution adopting the mid-year changes for fiscal year 2018-2019.
Just couldn't stay away.
Okay.
So in the staff report, there are 5 exhibits. As a brief review, Exhibits A and B show 6-month performance of our revenues and expenditures across all funds. Exhibits C and D show the requested changes to our budgeted revenues and expenditures. And Exhibit E shows our projected ending fund balance, inclusive of the requested budgetary changes. The resolution before you tonight is simply to approve the budget changes found in Exhibits C and D. Having reviewed the performance of our revenues and expenditures, the following are notable items from the general fund mid-year budget. Property tax revenues. The city's current property tax revenues have been growing since 2012. There are 3 reasons for this. First is the increase in the number of homes in our community. Second is the increase in the value of those homes. And third is the dissolution of our former redevelopment agency. As property values increase, that increase is still set aside for the wind down of our former RDA, but as we've been paying off the debts of that former agency, an excess of funds exists and are redistributed back to us as general fund revenues. As home values continue to climb and as our successor agency costs continue to fall, more gets redirected back to the city's general fund. Last year, we received $135,288 in redirected funds. Sales tax revenues. At the beginning of the year, we budgeted $510,000 in sales tax revenues. We anticipate receiving closer to $590,000 this year. License and permit revenues. Last year, we finished with $277,000 in license and permits. This year, we budgeted $264,000, but it appears we'll finish closer to $285,000. Motor vehicle tax revenues. The city no longer receives motor vehicle license fees, but we do receive property tax in lieu of vehicle license fees. This is called the vehicle license fee adjustment amount. These swapped funds are from when the state took other vehicle license fees and swapped it with a similar portion of state property tax revenues. This year we budgeted $830,000 in VLFAA monies. We expect to receive closer to $876,000. It's an increase of more than $54,000 over what we received last year. A couple notable changes to the budget are we had originally budgeted a part-time officer position that was unfilled, At a previous council meeting, council authorized the addition of a full-time police officer, taking us to 13 sworn. This mid-year budget removes the part-time position and adds a full-time officer position. Also, well number 6 was in need of being moved. We're making a budget adjustment to cover those costs. Overall, we're conservatively projecting general fund revenues to be up 1.86% over our current budgeted amounts, and our general fund expenditures are projecting to come in about 10% below our budgeted figures as a whole. We started this year budgeting a deficit of $662,000 to our general fund. After this mid-year review, we're looking at a deficit of a much lesser amount, around $85,000, which is a great improvement over our starting budget. By the end of the year, the city is still looking at an estimated fund reserve of 50%, or $2.63 million, which is a very healthy reserve. If you have any questions about the remainder of the budget or changes or any other items, I'd be happy to answer questions for you.
Any questions from the council?
No.
Looks like we're doing pretty good, Lou.
Yeah. We are. It's good to hear.
It's,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah, the economy's doing well, and it's helping.
excellent, thank you.
Could I borrow some of that money?
Yeah, but a very high interest rate.
Yeah.
You can have all you want. Anyway, bring it back to the council for direction.
I make a motion, we adopt resolution number 2019, next to the number, resolution adopting the mid-year changes for fiscal year 2018-2019.
Second the motion.
Okay, motion's been made and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 5-0. Thanks, Lou.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work. With that, we're going to move to item 11, items from District 5, Stanislaus County Supervisor.
Ten.
I'm sorry.
There's an item C.
Oh, I crossed out C. There's one more, Jim. You just took them up. C, adopt resolution number 2019, a resolution accepting bids and awarding contract to Taylor Backhoe and Merced Street CMAQ Bike Pedestrian Improvements Federal Project CML-5172-027 and CML-5172-028. Got to keep those straight. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Catherine.
City of Newman received 2 congestion mitigation and air quality grants, so they're CMAQ, to construct bike and pedestrian improvements on Merced Street from Eucalyptus to T and Hills Ferry Road from Sherman Parkway to Canal School. You may remember our Measure L project, and what was yet to be done was the bike lanes and some additional striping. And then this project will also include some sidewalk improvements on Merced, basically installing sidewalks where there are none now. We advertised the projects in November. We opened bids January 3rd and received 7 bids. The low bidder was non-responsive due to the DBE contract goal. They did not meet that goal or show good faith efforts. So we were able to, according to the law, look at the second and third bid and consider those. If they met the goal, the next low bidder, which is Taylor Backhoe, did meet the goal by 23%. And so that's a disadvantaged business enterprise goal, which means they'll be using disadvantaged businesses that are certified as such as part of their subcontractors, or they hold the certification themselves as a company. The low bidder, the responsive low bidder is Taylor Backhoe in the amount of $220,500.23. And staff recommends that we award that bid to Taylor Backhoe. And I'll take any questions.
Any questions? No questions?
Well, I don't have a question, but I just want to say I'm glad to see that you guys monitor for participation on these projects, because that's very important that DPEs and small businesses get the opportunity to work on some of these projects.
Yes.
I'm glad that you monitor those.
It's actually a requirement of Caltrans for the type of funding that we're getting. They're kind of an oversight on this funding, and they're very stringent requirements, and our engineers are very good at reviewing the bids and making sure that they're all in compliance or showing the good faith effort to try to obtain those DBE companies.
Thank you, Catherine.
Welcome.
I'll bring it back to the council for direction.
I move we adopt resolution number 2019 next to number, a resolution accepting bid and awarding contract to Taylor Backhoe for Merced Street CMAC Bike and Pedestrian Improvements, Federal Project CML-5172, Parent 027, and CML-5172, Parent 028.
I'll second that.
Okay. Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Catherine. Now we're moving on to Jim. Okay, I'm sorry. Items from District 5, Stanislaus County Supervisor, Mr. Jim D. Martini. Good evening, Jim.
Good evening, Mayor Martina and members of the council. I have just a few things for you tonight. Last week, the West Side Healthcare Task Force met in Patterson, and at that meeting, we discussed future projects that we're going to have this year, trying to line them up. Of course, the Health Summit, West Side Walks, an art and essay contest. We had a couple other ones that were kicking around, like a seniors program. And there was one other additional one, but we're just preliminarily doing that. But the West Side Walks we're continuing with, and the Health Summit we will have here in Newman. We're trying to secure the date that works for the West Side Theater. It will be about mid-June or so, but we don't have the date yet. We do have a speaker from Emmanuel Hospital. It's a doctor who's going to speak either diet, nutrition, or the importance of combination of the two to lead a healthier life. So we're putting that together now, and things are going pretty good. Our next meeting will be at the Gustine City Hall on March 21st. So anyway, and today on the board, we had a marijuana ordinance came up. It was a miserable subject for me. I don't see anything good out of growing, selling, or smoking marijuana, but we had 5 come up. 4 of them got pulled off the agenda for various reasons, and then one of them did pass, some marijuana grower thing in a metal building over in Modesto, in the county though, county part of Modesto. It sure is a miserable subject to deal with. But anyway, that's what we had to do that today. Nothing new to report on the Crow's Landing Air Base. That is, the first project there is going to design the storm drain system. And so that is if everything with this project is behind schedule too. It's supposed to have been out already. Now I'm told it'll be about the 1st of March before that contract goes out for somebody to bid on, not to build the storm drain project, but just to design it. So I don't know what the delay is. So. And the county is also has the area around the air base for lease. The person who was leasing it before has died, and his family doesn't want to continue with it. And it's about 1,100 acres, the lease, and it is, we're taking bids for it now. The minimum bid would be $100 an acre, and it's 1,100 acres. It's a pretty good size ground. And at the rate we're going with the develop this air base, I think you'd be farming that for a while. So. But anyway, if you know anybody who's interested in leasing the ground, we're accepting bids for it now. Probably some marijuana farmers.
Not going to be any marijuana growing out there. Yeah, marijuana, it's a really tough thing for me to deal with.
Sorry, bad joke.
And this probably is for you too, because I know this council is pretty conservative too. I forget what the name of this is. Lifted
I think was the name of the company, it was Farms. And I always thought, and I said, that calling that a farm, a place that grows marijuana, is an insult to agriculture and every farmer in this country. That's not what a farmer is. I know what a farmer is, and they don't grow marijuana. But anyway, so some of the stuff you got to deal with in California is just so unpleasant. So anyway, that's all I have, unless you have any questions for me.
Any questions, Jim? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you very much, Jim. With that, we move on to item 12, item from the city manager and staff.
Thank you, Mayor. Not much to report. City Hall will be closed next Monday in honor of President's Day, excuse me. And then at this time, we are scheduled for 2-on-2 next Tuesday at 4 p.m. I'll reach out to Superintendent Phil Pot, probably tomorrow or the next day just to make sure we're still on there. But you should anticipate that we're going to have 2+2 next time. And that's all that I had for the council at this time.
Any question?
I know our community liaison officer, Allie Mendoza's here. She'd like to update you on some things that she has planned.
Oh.
Good evening, Mayor, council members. On the community liaison side, I am looking to have an event here in April 27th, known as Newman Together. It's basically bringing unity back into our community. No pun intended. It's a one-day event for clubs, churches, organizations, and healthcare providers on the west side to promote what they have to offer to our community. This event will take place in our downtown plaza area from 10 to 2 p.m. It will be a free event to all these organizations, churches, like I said before, clubs, healthcare providers, to promote what we have to offer as a city, and to those community members that live in it who aren't aware of all these programs, whether it be the Health Resource Center providing help to people, to clubs and organizations promoting a either healthier lifestyle or promoting their club on itself. So that will take place here in April 27th. And moving on in the future, we are looking to bring farmers markets in June. Every Friday in June in the evening. A set time is not yet placed, but I will follow up with you guys and let you know in the future what's to come on that. On the recreation side, basketball is going well. It's our 6th week of games, no ejections or any big injuries, minor injuries. We will not be having a free throw contest this year per Knights of Columbus. And that's pretty much it on our recreation side, other than we will be holding a 5v5 soccer tournament March 20th at Sherman Park. It's tailored to a U8 through U12 boys soccer team as a soft launch, and then if that goes well in the future, maybe do more events like that to promote our city athletics as well, in correlation to all the ones we will have in the future. With that being said, any questions?
I'm excited about the farmer's market. That's great.
Yeah.
Everything else, excellent job so far.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know, this is something we needed for a while, Ally, so thank you very much for being so involved and so positive about these programs, because it's what brings the community together.
Definitely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Outstanding.
Thank you.
Okay. No, you're fine. Okay. Chief?
I'd just like to thank everybody for their continued support. Council, Mayor, City Manager Michael Holland for their continued support of our department. I have to say some thank yous to some members of my department, Lieutenant Brett Short, Elaine Collison, Linda. I've been away traveling for various engagements, and they've stepped up, and it's like I don't even belong there anymore. It runs really smooth, so I'd like to thank all of them for stepping in and stepping up and taking care of what needs to be taken care of. It's been a great help to all of us. And thank you again for everything.
Thank you for representing our city.
Right.
We really appreciate it.
And I'd like to say that basically, when you're away, that shows basically how you have a profound impact on your department. because they know that you have put together, a solid crew there. And I'll piggyback on what Mary said. I just want to thank you for your, being dedicated to your department and to the city.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
I'd like to thank you also for continuing to represent our city well abroad. I've seen you again on, media and different things, and you're doing an outstanding job representing our city, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And like you said, you do a great job leading your men, so they pick up the slack when you're gone well.
It's all them. They know what they're doing.
But does that mean there's much slack when he's gone?
No. We're doing fine.
Outstanding job, Chief. Outstanding job, Chief.
Chief, we always know where your heart's at.
Yes, we do.
We do,
Thank you.
and we appreciate that.
They say the sign of a good manager is when he's away,
Right.
his operation runs just as smooth as when he's there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We're greatly appreciative of you and your department, all of your officers and staff. You've really done Newman proud.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's been a tough time.
Lou, you have anything for us tonight?
Nothing
No financial news, nothing?
No.
Nothing.
We're doing good.
I wonder if that they ever go home. I see him at that computer, and he be right.
Well, no, he's trying to earn his money, see?
Oh.
Anyway.
Trying to keep our money.
Catherine, do you have anything?
I just wanted to let everyone know that we are currently drilling well 6. So it could be noisy, you could get calls. They do have a sound barrier up, and so it's not as loud as I expected. But just be aware that they are drilling a well 500 feet deep, and we're going to hopefully have that well up before it gets too hot. So thank you for approving that.
Yeah, what's the hours on the...
24 hours a day.
So that's the noise they'll be hearing.
Yes,
So,
24 hours a day.
Wow.
did they give any indication of any sand or anything? Is that something that...
So we did a pilot hole, if you remember, a few months ago, and there's just different layers of the clay and sand and then the water-producing aquifers, and they think they've found some good area that we can pull water from, in 2 different zones, we're going to blind off the upper zone because we have some contaminants there we want to try to keep out, and then we're going to put some screens at a mid-zone and then a lower zone, and that should give us enough capacity and good quality water.
And the project will be completed into May, you think, maybe?
We're hoping that it'll be completed by April.
Oh, April.
We did give them, I think, 90 days to complete the project, because we still have to move the piping over and then connect it and the power, so that once we get the well drilled, then there's still going to be some more work that has to be done.
The noise associated with the drilling should be over fairly soon, though. The hole itself is the noise generator, right?
It's the main noise, is just drilling the hole.
Right.
And then there'll be some follow-up noise for about a week as they develop the well. So they'll have those screens in place, and then they'll start pumping water out to try to just make sure that they get anything that's hanging out around those screens pumped out, so all we're producing is water. So there'll be noise probably, I would guess, another 10 days, but not as bad as it is right now.
But the alternative of not having the water is not good.
That's right.
So, noise for water.
And I just appreciate everyone's patience as we go through this. It's right in the middle of town, and I understand that it could be disrupting. So I appreciate everybody's patience.
Well, thank you so much, Ken.
You're welcome.
Casey, anything tonight?
Did we verify that chief actually went on a fire call and just didn't go home to dinner?
I heard the fire engine.
I don't know.
Or maybe that was him.
But
He was in a hurry for dinner.
we're gone now, but I appreciate Ron Elsing's family all coming out. I know this is hard, these different things that they gotta come to for recognition and that, but I appreciate them coming out and the city and chief and the police department being able to recognize them. You know, that's an amazing loss that we can't even fathom on their level. So, thank you to them, and that's all I have tonight.
Thank you, Casey. Leroy?
And I'll just piggyback on that too. I was glad to see the family out, and I mentioned to Seam's wife that prayers work, and she will find strength. The whole family will find strength in prayers. So continue to pray for the family and continue to pray for our police department, and that authorities high above will just keep this covered over each and every family that's involved in the police department. That's all I have.
Thank you very much. Nick, do you have anything tonight?
Nothing tonight.
Marie, do you have anything?
Thank you.
And I have nothing tonight. Just thank everyone for coming, and I ask for adjournment.
So moved.
Second. We are adjourned.